Hello, 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 hello. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Let me just get Facebook up. Okay. Welcome to Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I am Kim, also known as Ms. Empower, and I want to welcome you to the segment Let's Talk About It Tuesday. As always, I look forward to talking to you guys each Tuesday about just different topics that I feel are needed to be talked about. Um, Tonight, I just kind of want to talk about what drives our decision making. What makes us make the choices that we make in life. I always like to start um, with the Serenity Prayer, and I will start with that first. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, halfway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life, you supremely, and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. So, thanks for joining me tonight for another segment of Let's Talk About It Tuesday. Just have a quick announcement. Let's Talk About It Tuesday will not air for the entire month of October. It will return again on November 1st, which is Tuesday. And I look forward to talking to you guys then. There will probably be some other conversations that will transpire. It will not be Let's Talk About It Tuesday. It will be a part of a place for healthy conversations because there are so many different conversations that I would like to have with others. Um, so November 1st is when Let's Talk About It Tuesday will return. And so I will announce that throughout the show so people won't be necessarily looking for me. Um, I have enjoyed so far all the things. I'm sorry, I'm having problems with my technology tonight. That's the second time it has gone out. Make sure my stuff is plugged in here. So I'm going to apologize right now if I don't get to finish my segment. Um, but I'm going to speak positivity into the connection, and it does not look good. So tonight, I just wanted to have some just good conversation. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to move it over some in hopes to getting a good connection. Um, So I just wanted to have some really good conversation about our decision making. Why do we make the different decisions that we make? What drives our decisions? So the topic um, for tonight is what is the source of your guidance? So what is guiding you? What is driving you to make the decisions that you are making in this life? Sometimes fear is what drives people to make different decisions that they make. It is being insecure. The insecurities can drive people to make the decisions that they make. If there is something that you can think of, put in the comments um, that you would think that would drive different decisions that we make. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss out on anything. Um, it's really, really important that we think about what's driving us. What is it? Is it from trauma? Things that has happened in your childhood or that you witnessed. Um, what makes us make the decisions that we make? We hear so many different things reported in the news, which it could be um, on television, it could be on social media, it could be in a magazine or some type of digital platform. We see a lot of different decisions that people are making. Um, so Cozine, and thanks for joining me, Cozine. Cozine says the Almighty God is um, is his source of his decision making. And that's an awesome thing if God can be your source, because a lot of times that is not the source for so many people. There are many people out here that know about God, but they do not lean on him for their decision making. A lot of people make decisions out of fear or just out of the things that they're experiencing at that moment. So, Cosine says, but I am a survivor of moving in fear and self doubt. And a lot of times, that self doubt, thanks for sharing that, will keep you from moving in the place that you know that in your heart desires to be a certain place, but you have a hard time getting there only because you doubt yourself. And then we have to think about, where does that come from? Did somebody say something to you as a child? Is this something you heard throughout life? Was there not enough encouragement, inspiration, poured into you to, um, keep you from having self doubt? Because self doubt can come in, move in, and just, hey, take up space in your life and keep you from doing the things that your heart truly desires. If I'm honest, in doing the things that I do, logging on, talking about different things, sometimes I talk about things that some people don't want to hear. Sometimes I talk about things that people want to hear, or they need to hear, or they realize, you know what, I never thought about that. And I have dealt with the self doubt as well. Like, are they going to hear me? Is anybody going to get something from it? And I've always told myself, if I can reach one person, I'm great. But then I got to a point where I want to reach more than one person. It's good if I can reach a person, but if I can reach more people, then I'm doing something. I'm making a difference. So, it's absolutely important that we believe in ourselves, regardless of the things that is driving your decisions. Take the time to think about things before you do them. Take time to think about what you're going to say before you say it. Cosine says, for example, your loved ones, friends, and family. Okay, I missed something up here. Let me see if it's going to let me see. Okay. So Cosine said, I've had both. It was a case on who said what. For an example, your loved ones, friends, and family. And I absolutely understand. I can definitely understand that. Because and then sometimes, Cosine, people treat you the way that they were treated. And so that's what they know. They get that from wherever they came from. And so then they do it to the next person. And then it becomes like a generational curse, and it just keeps on giving, to the next person. And so it's really a sad thing that we reach back and allow things that we've experienced in our life and we put it off on somebody else. So let's say, hold on, I want to try to get this off the screen. There we go. Sorry about that. So, for an example, um, we, okay, let me use myself as an example real quick. So for me, I I had a child at the age of 19, and of course that's frowned upon, when you have a child out of wedlock and at a young age. And so I had a lot of people in my family who said very negative things to me instead of encouraging, inspiring, and guiding me in the right directions. It was just like, push me on out there, and it's just like, you deal with it. You did this, you deal with it. But I had my mom had my back from beginning to end. My dad kicked in probably not towards the middle, but kind of close to the end. And so, like, I understand how he felt. I understand for him, he was hurt by that. And that wasn't what he wanted from me. And I get that. So I have forgiven him for that. But he was taking his feelings and pushing it off on me. I guess not knowing what family members would say, which a lot of his family members said negative things to me. And if I didn't have a strong support system pouring into me the whole entire time that I was carrying her, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today. Physically, mentally, spiritually, I wouldn't be there, if it wasn't for my support system being there for me. So, I never wanted to be that towards anybody that was going through what I had gone through. I always found encouraging words. It was never I'm getting ready to down you, I'm going to judge you, because I went through this and I know what it feels like. So it's important that we don't do what was done to us. As I was saying, Cosine, because I did go kind of off on another side, but just trying to give an example of how important it is that we take what we learn and decide if it is something that should keep going. If it's not, we should cut it off. Cut that cycle and don't keep giving that, because what you're going through, what you're experiencing, because what is so unfair is it comes from childhood or from an early age and follows you into adulthood, and you're trying to figure out what to do with that. How do I, keep going forward? How do I make these decisions? Because a lot of times your decisions are being made based on those things, that trauma, that hurt, that fear. And so you don't give yourself a chance. You don't give yourself enough credit. You don't allow yourself to believe that you can do more than what's right there in front of you. It's hard to motivate and inspire yourself. And let me tell y'all something. I had to learn how to motivate and inspire myself before I could start doing it for you guys. Like, I went through a whole process of doing that for me. I went from feeling I had no confidence. I definitely didn't believe in me. I had a lot of different things going on that was keeping me from being able to do some things that I, in my heart, desired to do. So it took God to bless me tremendously. And when I say he worked on me, he worked on me from beginning to end. And so I was able to start motivating myself, to be a better person, to feel differently, to go to work with the best attitude, regardless of things that are going on in my surroundings. I could be the best of the best. And I had a little saying, I want to be the best. It wasn't the best of the best. I want to be the best. I want to do my very best. My better than my best. That's what it was. I want to do better than my best. And that is what I told myself every day. I didn't want to do the best. I want to do better than my best. I wanted to be more than I felt like I was being allowed to be. So I had to, what did I have to do? I had to motivate myself. I had to inspire myself. I had to do a lot of praying. I had to do a lot of mindful tasks. Meditation definitely wasn't one for me at the time because I had tried it a few times and I continued to fall asleep. It wasn't working for me. So that wasn't one that got me in that place. But this year I jumped into meditation and learned. I had to teach myself how to meditate, and once I got it, I tried to share it with other people because it really works for you have to almost retrain your mind to relax, you know. So, my confidence, people always ask me, where do you get your confidence? It wasn't always here. It was something I had to work on. I had a friend that told me that I was timid. When she looked at me, she saw that I was a timid person. And I really was. You know, going through so many different things, as Cosine said, he dealt with self-doubt. I definitely dealt with that throughout the years, and it was just from all the negative things that had been said to me. That's why I say think about things before you say it to somebody, because you have no clue what you're doing. Somebody was responsible for making me feel like I didn't have a voice. Somebody was responsible for making me feel like I wasn't smart enough to do different things. Although I had a lot of family members who will always say, "You are so smart," always compliment me on who I was, who they saw that I was. But I couldn't even see that, because I was so covered in the negativity that was poured onto me. That can overpower the positivity that has been poured onto you, the love that had been poured onto me. Like, that negativity overpowered all of that. So, what is the source of your guidance? If you are going based on what you've seen, in the past, and those are making decisions for you, it's time to sit down and start thinking about those things. Break them down, unpack them, take them out one thing at a time, because that's baggage that you're carrying with you. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much, you know. And I'm just here to tell you to believe in you, because I believe in you. Whether I have ever met you before, had a conversation, chatted with you, whatever it is, I still believe in you. I believe anybody can be anything that they want to be. It's about consistency. It's about pushing yourself. It's about, number one, believing in you. The confidence will come. If you don't have that, it will come. Um, it's just about you being that number one person that supports you. Because when you don't believe in yourself, it's really hard for somebody else to believe in you. It's really hard to encourage somebody else, right? And they get it. So it took, as I was saying before, it took for me to work on myself, to encourage myself, to become my own inspiration and motivation to get to where I am. I promise you guys, when I first started getting on here doing videos, oh my God, anybody that has been following me since day one, I was so nervous, but I just jumped in, and I brought the strength of my mom with me because I felt like she was my strength. She was the reason why I was able to do this. Um, and so you have to figure out what your strength is going to be to get where you are supposed to be. Sometimes we get stuck, and whatever it is that we're doing right here, we just stay right here. We don't try to move up because of the self-doubt. That what if it don't work out? And then we say, what if I fail? But the thing is, you only fail if you don't try. You don't fail if you try it and maybe it didn't work out. It's okay. Try something else. Keep moving, keep believing in you. Um, just had a question because I really try not to talk about things that I see that people are gossiping about or whatever. But when we start talking about infidelity and cheating, so I'm going to the story with Nia Long and her fiance. Let me ask you a question. How long is too long to be engaged to someone? Do you think it's a time limit on being engaged to someone? And do you think that there's a difference between infidelity and cheating? Because so many things are being thrown out here. I'm not looking at the politics. I'm just kind of looking at the relationship part of their story. When we start talking about infidelity and cheating, like where is that coming from? Because I see so many people saying, "Oh, people do that. All men do that. All women do that." Not saying all, but just saying people are saying that. Like, what's so different about that? And my thing is whether it has become the norm, it is not right. If you're in a serious relationship with someone and you've gone to the extent of having a child with this person, and you've gone to the extent of um, proposing to this person, I don't care how long ago it was, you know, um, you should be, you should definitely um, not be out here cheating and, messing around with other people. You should definitely make sure that you are treating this person the way you would want them to treat you. So what if that was reversed and that was her out there? She would be looked at in a whole different light um, of doing these things. Let's say she's messing around with people on his team. She'd be looked at very different. Like, what happened to being faithful? What happened to really loving your partner enough that you don't have to go outside of a relationship? You know, um, but the red flag for me is they've been engaged for a good while now. And I just wonder, how long does it really take to move to that next step? Um, yeah. So Cosine said outside of a serious situation, 2 years is too long. Because I can't remember how long that they have been engaged, but I just remember maybe a few years ago that they were supposedly engaged, unless they weren't really and they were just living together and they had a child together. I don't know. But that's a lot of red flags for me. To me, that doesn't speak commitment at all. So um, I know there were a lot of people saying what makes her different because she's a celebrity. There is no difference. You know, If a person wants to cheat, they will cheat, whether it's a man or a woman. If that's what they want to do, that's what they will do. Absolutely wrong is when partner passes. But what makes people think that it's okay? What makes people keep doing that? Is it because it's what they saw, coming up? But even if that is what you saw, that's wrong. We know right for wrong. Let's be honest about it. We know right for wrong. So what's making you make these decisions? What is your thought process in all of this? Did you at one time think of the fact that your partner would be hurt when they find out that you've been cheating on them? Whether you're married, whether you're in a serious relationship, whether you're engaged or not engaged, if you're living together, whatever, if you're sleeping together and you have decided that you're in a serious relationship, you guys have committed to this, it's wrong. And I was looking at a video this week, and this man sat up there and said, infidelity and cheating is different. When he found out that the coach was engaged to her and not married, his whole view was different. He was like, it didn't mean anything. It does. The moment that if they're engaged, the moment that you proposed to me, that meant something, right? You're saying that you are ready for a commitment. You're ready for the next step. So if you're out here cheating while we're engaged, why would I marry you? Why would I marry you? Why would anybody marry you? So, what is driving our decisions? We have to really think about what's driving our decisions of the things that we decide to do. What drives your decision to go out and murder somebody? What drives your decision to abuse somebody physically, mentally, verbally, whatever? What drives your decision to gaslight somebody, and manipulate someone? What drives these different decisions? It's time to sit down and unpack these things and stop saying that this is okay, this is the norm, like this is gonna happen. Like, no, it does not have to happen. People don't have to be out here cheating. If you are not happy in your relationship, end it. Stop putting other people through that hurt. Because if it's reversed, how are you gonna feel? And if it's you, why are you doing this? Take the time to think about why you're doing this and work on this. Be a better person. Decide to be a better person and not continue being who you have been throughout these years if you know you ain't been moving right. It's time to start moving in a better way and in a different direction, doing the right things. What about your children? Is this what you're teaching them? Are you teaching your children that it's okay when something is not right within a relationship to step out and cheat? And not sit down and communicate about this, not go the extra mile to get the help that is needed? Let's talk about that. I'm just wondering, what is your source of guidance? What has guided you to this place? It's time to start thinking about this, guys. Let's stop with this is the norm, or this is eventually a man is going to cheat. This is what I keep hearing. And I'm sure that's not for every man. And I'm sure that's not for every woman. But these people out here that are doing it, why are you doing? Where is it coming from? Is it what you saw? When you saw this in your household, how did that end? What kind of things happened in between? You know, we've got to do better, guys. We have to learn how to make better decisions, and we have to teach our children to make better decisions in life. This we need our new generation to be out here making better decisions than we did. Don't we want our children to be better than we are or that we have been? You have to teach them by example. It's not just you telling them. They're going to see you before they hear you. And that's what they're going to look at. So let's take the time to, just start to think about what is driving our decisions. Let's take time to love ourselves enough to be better people. Let's take time to love ourselves enough not to allow what has been said to us in the past to drive us to where we're going to go. If you let the past you make those decisions for the present and future, you're going to be stuck. You're not going to like the result. And you deserve so much more. Any comments? It's when we start talking about what drives our decision making, that is like a huge conversation. Like, I really wish I had more people, tuning in right now. And or either here with me to add to the conversation, because there is so much to talk about when we start talking about our decision making. Your decision making in your finances, your decision making just in the people you choose to be in your life for friendship. People you decide to go into business with, collab with. It's a lot. Where you, and a lot of us are in getting close to the retirement stage. Your decision making on what you're going to do in that stage, your decision making in who you want to spend the rest of your life with, who you will say yes to and I do to. Let's think about our decision making, guys. It's so important, because it's going to be better for us if we sit down and figure out what is our source. What is your source that's guiding you? So, what time is it? Okay, it's 8:34. Do we have any more comments? I really appreciate you, Cozine, for jumping in and being a part of the discussion tonight. But it's so important, guys, that we think about our decisions that we make. Anybody that's watching this as a replay, you feel free to make comments, and I definitely will respond to your comments, and we can keep the conversation going. As I had said earlier, Let's Talk About It Tuesday will return on November 1st. It will not air at all for the month of October. And so I look forward to doing Let's Talk About It Tuesday. Also, you'll start to see the flyers for the new segment that's coming up. And there will be some conversations, group conversations that I will have on here as well. And you'll see flyers about that coming up. So you'll probably see that in October. But Let's Talk About It Tuesday. We'll definitely take a little breather until the month of November. So if there are any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments. And I don't know if I can even see comments in Facebook, because for some reason I'm gonna go out of it and come back in. Yeah, I don't know. All right, guys. So, make sure that if you are on YouTube, that you please subscribe and press that bell so that you'll get if you're watching me on Facebook, please go to my YouTube page, Ms. Empower, and subscribe and hit that like button on the video and hit the bell so that you'll get notifications. I appreciate you guys watching me tonight. I am having technical difficulties, so I am going to end the show right here. And again, I look forward to doing Let's Talk About It Tuesday with you guys again on November 1st, 2022. And if there are certain topics you would like for me to talk about, please send that to me in an inbox at Facebook, which would be Kim Empower on Facebook or Ms. Empower on Instagram. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys throughout the month of October with some different things. And I look forward to talking to you again for on Let's Talk About It Tuesday on November 1st. Have a great rest of your night.